Well, I guess technology is only as good as the solutions that they give. And today we're looking at the adoption of ICT by small businesses, among others. We'll be having this conversation with Dr. Delioye. He's the president of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture. That's Naccima. Joins us from our Abuja studio. Dr. Oye, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Great. So, I mean, we just talked about technology there and the adoption of ICT by small businesses. But before we get to that, I saw a report by SMEs that over 90,000 jobs were created in the first quarter of this year. Working closely with small businesses, what's the reality of these numbers? It sounds good to an extent, but what's your perspective and what's the reality?
Well, for a large country like Nigeria, I think that number is small. I don't know the sources or the basis under which the studies were carried out. But what I would say that for a country like Nigeria, we need to develop and increase more businesses for us to get out of poverty. The problem we already have immediately after the World Bank IMF last meeting was that by 2027, there will be 56% of Nigerians going to poverty, despite the very huge work already done by the government on the fiscal reforms and the ability to even have a trade surplus in 2024 of about $6 billion. That money does not mean anything to someone that is hungry. And that is why government needs to be more broad in its approach by involving the private sector, using their ideas to develop policies. This is the only way to increase and also optimize the opportunities available locally. We need to mobilize our local resources. You can see what is happening now in the oil and gas industry. And the recent interview by Dangote that given the right policy, is going to make an announcement this week to show that it's ready to invest more. So one government is predictable, one the policies are consistent, and we're able to mobilize and listen to our people who have invested in the economy. That is the game changer. So the 90,000 is just a child play compared to the opportunities that are available and the need to move our people out of poverty.
So some people say the way to go is ICT technology to help scale up at a shorter time. How is the adoption of ICT by small businesses in the country?
Well, Nigeria is the fintech capital of Africa, but we have not seen a conscious government effort to actually optimize that sector. I know the Honorable Minister for Digital Technology is doing his best, but most of the policies are still office-based. What we need to do, there's an investment agency called the Nigeria Investment Promotion Council. Most of what government is doing is in silos. That office ought to be able to optimize this by presenting to the private sector so that we can all tap in. But if you go to that office today, you will observe that they don't have much information about what various ministries are doing, in what level of technology they are adapting, what platforms they are doing. I know government had made an effort trying to build platforms, but you need to let everyone know what you are doing. And the only way you can do that is by using your own agency that will be created as a one-stop shop. But what is happening now, every agency is doing things at their level. So we need all that information as private sector to be able to know what technology to deploy and how we can use the technology only available within government to optimize business. So they need more coordination, and they also need to coordinate with the private sector. They should work with organizations like Naccima, Manufacturer Association, SMEDAN, NASME, NASG, so that all of us can have access. We can actually, by press of a button in our office, we can tap into that pool. But what is happening, everybody is working in silos. So we need to optimize. We need to work together. We need to work with the investment regulation agencies, which have been created by government, so that all the various IPAs in the states, so that everyone can go to one place and get all the information that is necessary to enhance technology and also to use it to optimize business. Like you said, technology is the way to go. Because if you look at what has happened in the last few years, those countries that have not moved with technology are likely to be doing things at subsistence level. But you can use the AI and several other options now to do so much. But you will need to have a central pool through our investment agencies already created by government to use them as a catalyst for growth.
So which of the investment agencies would you suggest to be a go-to, the pool that you're talking about, and how do you think this process can start? Because as you noted, I mean, there are so many things going on, but it does seem like it's not coming together.
For every foreign investor coming to Nigeria, their first port of call is the Nigeria Investment Promotion Council. And the states also have various IPAs. But what we've seen is that every part of government, they want to take credit for their efforts. It's not necessary. It's like a football match. You need to work together and also coordinate with the private sector and those that have invested within the country. That's what I'm saying. Whatever is being done at the digital ministry needs to be domiciled with the NIPC so that all of us can have access to all that is available within Nigeria. It may surprise you to know that Ministry of Finance, several ministries, even the customs, they have very huge digital platforms. This thing is still being kept like a secret. If you are not involved in import and export, you may not know the extent of digitalization that's happening with the customs. We have a single window which we are trying to put up now, and I've already said it that one needs to have more private sector involvement, and I want to commend the DG who recently sent us a letter telling us that they're inviting us as Naccima to be part of it. But that thing needs to be domiciled, also even in the NIPC, because that is where the trading actually takes place. So what I'm saying is you need to enhance, empower, and give the NIPC as an overriding power as created by the law that set it up, that it should be the gateway for foreign direct investment in Nigeria. If we do that, we will see that everyone will know where to go and how to proceed. That is all I'm saying, that we should use our institutions already established to enhance what we are currently doing. The idea of trying to take credit or every agency trying to help themselves and try to develop their own platform independent or deploy the computer knowledge or whatever ICT is not helpful, because we don't have the necessary resources to replicate the same thing everywhere. We should have a central pool. Every ministry, whatever they are doing in this, should be domiciled with the investment agency so that we as private sectors can access it easily, and also foreign direct investors who are coming to Nigeria can also have access to that platform. That agency has to be created as a one-stop shop. We should all work with it. This is what I'm saying. And that is the position of the private sector. We want a situation where we can be able to predict government actions and also have access to resources in one place.
So, on the other hand, what's your observation when it comes to adoption of technology, AI, by small businesses? So we do know that, of course, we have the hurdle of infrastructure, internet penetration, costs, also as discouraging factors. But how intentional do you see businesses, especially the small one, in adopting and actually inculcating AI and technology into their everyday operations?
Well, we as a private business organization, we normally train our members and encourage them to deploy technology. Because if you don't have a website or even a WhatsApp platform with your customers, or even if you are into the business of even renting of properties, if you have several tenants, you don't have a platform where you can engage them. You want to still engage them manually. You can't do so much. And it creates complete misinformation when you have to do everything verbal. So we encourage it, and I can tell you, Nigeria is particularly lucky. Even semi-literate, you'll be surprised what they're able to do with computers. So we're already lucky, we're already leading. In fact, we were recently given the digital on the AFCT. Nigeria was appointed as a leader, which our current Honorable Minister for Industry, Trade and Investment is championing on behalf of Mr. President. So we are known for it. We lead in fintech. All the small startups, out of the 8 unicorns in Africa, 5 are from Nigeria, and 4 of them are into fintech. So what I'm trying to say in all this is we already naturally endowed Even your photo in the 419 is done on the digital space. So what I'm trying to say, we can turn this ability to opportunity if we have a unified position on it, where we can access resources in one platform. This idea of having several platforms working in silos is our challenge. And it's also an opportunity if government can see and use its own institutions already established by law to enhance this. I'm not saying the NIPC should be the operator, but at least they should have access to resources to tell us if we say we need information on AI that is being done, we should be able to go to NIPC as our one-stop shop to do it. So what I'm saying is, with our experiences and all the travels we've made home and abroad, we've seen that countries use their institutions, especially the NIPC, to drive their investment. But we have in Nigeria, you see different ministers going for investment, promotion, and several. They don't even include or encourage that agency to know what they are doing. So this is what I'm saying. I did a lecture recently on the annual conference, and I observed that most of them did not even have information about several sectors within their own states or even at the federal level. And this is a challenge. Because if someone is going to speak for you, is going to encourage investment, you should have access to every information available on every government platform. So we are all ready as private sectors to collaborate with government. And indeed, we are training our members to deploy technology. And if you want to truly scale up, you need to deploy technology. I use AI too for myself, and it kind of cut short the time I used to prepare for meetings or even respond to letters. So we all need to continue to use it, and government need to consciously promote it. So, and I want to thank the Minister of Digital Economy. He's done a whole lot of work. So he's training for 3 million Nigerians on ICT, and say 177,000 has been achieved. And I think we can scale up more if we can take into account the trainings that have been done by organizations like the private sector. I have 100 chambers of commerce under Naccima, and we have several training centers on this. And we're also even working with our German partners on DVT and several training on this. So what I'm trying to say is, we all need to have the information in one place so that we can tap into that pool. So that will optimize whatever we are doing. And it actually will grow the economy too.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Dilo Oye, President of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Naccima, for the work that you do. And of course, we hope that coordination or collaboration between the public and private sector is what we'll see soon. Thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you.